Hello and welcome to the Enterprise Talk Conversation Series, a peer knowledge resource by the CXOs for the CXOs. Now to our host, Kanika Goswami.
Welcome to our podcast On Stage with Enterprise Thought Leaders. Today we have as our guest Vincent Lomba. He's a Chief Technical Security Officer at Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise Security Office, and he's responsible for security requirements across all its business divisions. Appointed in the role of a CTSO in June 2020, Vincent is both a certified ISO 27032 lead cybersecurity manager and ISO 27001 lead auditor. He holds a master's degree in digital signal processing and has over 30 years experience in research, business development, marketing, and security at Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise. Um, Vincent, really happy to have you on board with us today. And let me know if I've missed out anything that we should be telling our audiences about you.
Many thanks for introducing myself. No, that's. I think we can start if you agree.
Sure. A little about the company. Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise provides digital age networking, communications, and cloud solutions with built-in security and limited environmental impact. With headquarters in France and 3,400 business partners worldwide, the company achieves an effective global reach with a local focus. Anything you need to add here, Vincent?
Yes, one point that could be highlighted there is that we are not a company that are delivering security, purely security product at all. Still, Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise does follow all the best practices that we have in terms of cyber security, which means that all the products are all of them following the good rules on that.
Right, that's great to know. So my first question for you, Vincent, is as a modern enterprises need real-time connectivity, how can businesses stay secure when they are exposed to various, ever increasingly sophisticated threats?
To me, one of the most important topics there is to ensure that all the employees for any companies are aware of what is the cyber risk and what they are exposed and what the company they are working for are exposed to. The human factor is probably one of the weakest factor in all the security aspects, which means that each and every one has to be really aware of what to do, what not to do, etc., etc. If we look back at the major cyber attacks, most of them have started by just collecting information from humans, like credentials, and then escalating the use of those credentials to get access to even more critical information. So as a key element there, we have to not be paranoid. That would be more for the security persons to be so, but to be vigilant at least and to think about everything in our traditional and daily life when we are interacting with, for example, unknown people.
So my second question to you, Vincent, is that conversational AI is revolutionizing RevOps operations. What strategies can CTSOs implement to ensure security while revolutionizing the customer journey itself?
The key point is here is to understand the security and to implement the security as a global approach that is not limited just to a traditional IT operation, but also include everything that is involved in the business processes. What the new technologies like AI and conversational AI has brought is more and more sophistication and automation that opens the door to more sophisticated attack scenario without the human being aware of what's happening. So as before, for about the human factor as a risk, here the human factor is more helpful. So keeping the human within everything, even when it is highly automated, is mandatory to follow the operation and see, monitor and check if something wrong does occur. As said, this new conversational AI with a lot of automation behind does not mean that nothing has to monitor and to check. And this is exactly the opposite, by the way. We have to think about sophisticated SOC, Security Operation Center, that will monitor in real time all the operation, all the automated operation, and to check if there is some suspicious activities, and of course to react accordingly.
So I think my next question you partly answered already. What strategies should enterprises implement to ensure airtight security to the cloud communications and collaboration applications and IP telephony solutions?
Well, to me, the key thing here is to select the right partner, the right technological partner that will help the enterprises to select the right solutions and to implement those solutions the right way. Nothing is secure by default, especially in the telephony world. Everything has to be secure for the given needs and for a given environment. So by having a duet from the software editor or the telephony vendor on one side and the partner who will directly operate the system is mandatory, so that we ensure globally that everything is secure as it should be. The knowledge about security most of the time for the product is on the editor side. The operational security is on the partner side, and the combination of the two ensure that everything is again according to what has to be secured. And here, if we speak about the IP telephony, it's all about the data privacy, the privacy of the communication. This can be ensured with following the good rules, following the good practices to operate the system accordingly.
Okay. And how do you think businesses can create better alignment between their business goals, processes, and security requirements? You say one of the important things is to choose the right partner for delivering the best possible security solutions. What else do you think can be put in place to ensure this?
As one of the point before, I think that every applications that are within the business processes has to be managed the same way as the IP network from a security standpoint. Every application, for example, the CRM that is at the heart of the business processes, not only needs to rely on an existing network, but also has to be considered as an open door to the threats, to the attackers, and to the hackers. So it has to be operated, again, this application has to be operated the same way, putting the same kind of strict rules to use it. Of course, the CRM is used by many people that are not security aware by default, but we have to include the security at each and every step of the use of this CRM. One of the example is who will grant the access to this CRM. CRM does include a lot of sensitive information to be protected, of course. So who manage the access to this? Who ensure that when people are leaving the organization, they have no more access to this tool, etc., etc. And it becomes even more important because of the turnover of those people that may jeopardize the quality of the security and may open the door again to potential attacks. And here, again, what is very important is to have a global approach to the security, all being monitored by a centralized SOC, so a Security Operation Center, including as well the use of the critical application like a CRM.
So you were mentioning about a great partnership in one of your earlier questions. But as cybercrime as a service industry becomes more sophisticated, how can businesses ingrain resilience in their, running business operations instead of keeping it as an external subject to the business operations that are running on a daily basis? How can they make it, the entire process, the entire environment of the enterprise itself more resilient?
There is several aspects here to take into account. The first thing is to admit the fact that now the attack to the cyber security has become, as its own topic, something very easy to overcome. Performing an attack is very easy nowadays. We have a kind of already predefined attack scenario that you can just use as a service, for example. So everything has to be understood as very, very easy to operate. Now, to become more resilient, one of the key points here is first to understand the nature of the attacks first, and second, to prepare for being attacked. The question is no more today, will I be attacked? Will I suffer from a tentative ransomware? But how much will it cost to me? And the good answer here is to understand that preparing an organization to be attacked, so having some dedicated processes, some dedicated training, some dedicated resilience plan before being attacked, of course, is a matter of time, is a matter of skill to be developed, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, it costs largely less than a successful ransomware attack. So again, preparing the people, preparing the organization to react, and not asking the bad question anymore. Will I be attacked? But what is the cost of a successful attack?
So now we're going to discuss one particular stream of technology usage, VOIP telephony, and the frauds that are on the rise in that particular area. What strategies can be implemented to reduce such frauds, in your opinion?
Well, one of the things here is to integrate the IP PBX function at the heart of a whole set of application running on IP, and to follow what we call the security by default and the security reinforcement to ensure that the PBX will be used the right way. If we focus on, for example, the PBX's solutions that are delivered by Alcatel-Lucent Enterprise, they are provided to be secure, but they have to be configured the right way, and they have also to follow some specific rules. One important point as well is to mention there is that our PBX, like the Omni PCX Enterprise, benefits from certification. So the common criteria certification that is normally a certification for pure security product, but we have decided at the enterprise level to follow the same kind of constraints, the same kind of rules, the same kind of design rules like the security by design to ensure that our product will be as secure or as secure as possible, should it be for a normal usage, but also from very specific usages for specific critical vertical segments. So here again, it's about the ability for a PBX to be configured the right way, and to ensure that end-to-end this bring the security at the nominal standard level. I have a good example of a successful implementation. One of the biggest hospitals in France has suffered from an attack. It was a month ago. An hospital close to Paris. And this hospital was, of course, as many hospitals, sharing the IP network between their application, the medical instruments, and the IP telephony. And the good news for us is to see that the IP telephony has remained fully operational when the attack was performed, but also after the attack. So not only the hospital has still the ability to use the phone, but had as well the possibility to continue the normal operation. And here, this is where we can classify what is the level of importance of applications and IP telephony, so the telephony by itself, to be seen and to be configured and to be operated as one of the most critical applications, and follow the rules that come from the software vendor like us to ensure that this critical application will continue to operate. So to take the right word here, to be highly resilient.
That is very interesting to know as a use case. So Vincent, while the questions that I planned for you, we finished with them, but I had a question in mind. If don't have a problem in answering that. When you were introducing your company, we said that Alcatel-Lucent Enterprises provides digital age networking, communications, and cloud solutions with built-in security and limited environmental impact. So, is there something that you can tell us about this? The sustainability angle of the kind of products and solutions that you offer to the market.
Yes, some specific words. So it's
Things which have limited environmental impact. Is there any
yes.
use case, or is there anything that you can share with us?
Yes, I can share some element on the how do ALE contribute to minimize the impact. So we have, if I'm taking a concrete example like the Omni PCX Enterprise, we have since a long time now implemented various mechanisms within the PBX to switch down unnecessary features. So lowering down the power consumption when the telephone were not in use. And it has it provides the good things to lower to the minimal necessary and mandatory usage the power consumption, the electric power consumption. That is one of the things that has been taken into account since a long time. On top of that, we are also today, and this is on a, I would say, constant evolution on that point, thinking about advanced profile usage to define what would be the most useful and relevant power consumption usage, and of course with the goal to minimize the overall. And that affects not only the core PBX features, but also, and potentially most importantly, all the phone sets that are connected to the PBX. So if you look at after a typical installation made of one PBX on one side, and I would say hundreds or even thousands of telephone sets with their own power consumption, if you consider decreasing by, let's say, 10% the power consumption of each phone set, it overall decreases a lot the power consumption, and it has a positive impact on how we contribute to reducing the environmental impact.
Thank you so much for sharing that example with us, Vincent. It's really very, very impressive at this point. And also thank you much for taking out time to speak to us. And I'm sure a lot of very insightful data has been shared with our audiences today. Thanks, Vincent, for being with us.
Many thanks to you for having invited me to that discussion.
Thank you so much for being with us. Please do follow us on social media for regular updates and new content.